Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of that podcast. You know which one I'm talking about. Panda Watch. As always, I'm Steven Zebrak with.
It's your boy Kev Mon. What up? What up?
How's it going, Kev? How's it going?
Oh man, it goes. I just woke up from a sweet nap here in Falls Church. Let me tell you, it was awesome.
That sounds delightful. I'm glad you have time to nap.
I mean, naps are the best,
Was
and we all have time to nap. I just chose to walk right into the one. I tried to fight it for a little bit, but you know what? When sleep calls, man, it usually wins.
that's a good phrasing. You should create a T-shirt out of that.
I probably will.
All right, everybody, we're coming to you on a Thursday instead of our normal Tuesday recording. Kind of my fault, kind of Kev's fault. So it's all good.
I mean, yeah, kind of your fault. A lot of your fault. Kind of my fault, but a
Yeah, I
lot of
wasn't
your
going to play
fault.
basketball Tuesday night.
Yeah, and then I wasn't the one who had to work late
I
Wednesday
did.
night.
I did have to work late.
You did?
I did.
That is so awesome, man. Did you get the work done, or are you those people who like to pretend like you're busy?
Oh no. I like to pretend I'm busy at like 9 to 5. I don't like to pretend I'm busy at like 8 o'clock at night. So
Uh, well, maybe
I
if you
was
get
getting
some
work
work
done.
done through 9 to 5, you wouldn't have to wait till 8 o'clock.
Well, I did get work done 9 to 5. I'm just saying if I'm gonna act like I'm busy, it's gonna be during 9 to 5. Not like I'm not gonna stay around work late just to say I work late. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's really ridiculous, but some people do it because they want to make themselves feel better.
That is true. That's a good point. Solid point.
I mean, I have very good points all the effing time, man.
Oh,
That's why.
slow
That's
down.
why. That's why I'm a host on this podcast, PandaWatch.
Yeah.
If we had a sound engineer, that would have been like a ding right there. Because every time you name drop your podcast, you need to emphasize, like reinforce it with a sound effect.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind for the future.
Absolutely. So, what's up? How was the weekend?
Weekend was good. Obviously a lot's happened since our last cast. Thursday night we had our work holiday party, and great spread. It was at this venue on Park Avenue. Lots of food, lots of beer, lots of wine and champagne. We had a DJ going for most of the party, and
Word.
at first the
Was it
DJ.
was the DJ sorry to cut you off. Was the DJ Paul from the mailroom?
No, that was Greg from the mailroom.
Greg from the mailroom?
Yeah.
What?
No, it was not, but it started off as a white dude, and like he was playing a bunch of house music, and I was talking to my coworker. I was like, "It's 7 o'clock. It is way too early for this guy to be trying to bump like house music at a work Christmas party." Um, so
For the audience, what kind of age demographics do you have throughout your office?
I think it's pretty spread. There's a lot of young people. It's an ad firm, so there's a lot of young people there.
Okay.
But then you venture out, you got guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Some of the management higher ups. So it's a good spread. But I would say mostly probably about like 60-70% like people under 30.
All right. All right.
So I mean it was a good young crowd. I mean it was fun. Then we're going along, and all of a sudden I noticed that the DJ is black, and I'm like, oh, I wonder why they're changing DJs. You know, I was
All right.
I was kind of far away at first. I get closer, and like then I start seeing people taking pictures with the DJ. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I get even closer, and I think I recognize the guy. So I go to one of my coworkers, black guy, obviously, and I'm like,
We are an equal opportunist podcast, by the way, but clearly.
yeah. So I go, who is that? He goes, oh man, that's Talib Kweli. I was like, oh shit.
Yo, that is pretty dope.
Yeah. So he was DJing for the last like I'd say 2 hours of the party easily. So that
Damn.
was pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
Talib, did you get to interact with him?
No, I a few people went up on stage to like take a picture with him and like say hi. I didn't feel like doing that. I felt like it would be forced. It'd be really weird. But
Yeah, nothing worse than like meeting a you guys can't see it, but there are air quotations going up, a celebrity, and you're just like, hey, and they're like, yeah, what's up? It's kind of just like dead air in between.
yeah, I did that one time with like Tracy Morgan in South Carolina. He was doing a show and he was at like one of the bars we go to a lot. So I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" And he was kind of like, he was really nice about it because most celebrities would be like, "Get the fuck out of my face."
True.
But he was really nice. He like shook my hand, and I just realized after I was like, "Damn, that was really awkward. I'm gonna try never to do that again." So
Yeah.
unless I have like an absolute reason to, or if it's a celebrity that like I really idolize, not maybe not idolize, but really like, then I'm just not gonna say anything.
Word. Damn. That's a pretty
Yeah.
dope weekend. Don't know how to follow that. I'm not even going to try because I did not have Talib Kweli DJ anything that I was doing.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go first. I should have gone second.
I mean, it's okay, dude. It's all right. I can follow that story.
All right. Well, follow it for us.
Follow it. This weekend here in regular old Falls Church, not New York City, but in DC, we had what we call our local bartenders ball, which is the Zinzi Christmas party. So anybody in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, you probably have a friend of a friend who is in the restaurant, what do you want to call it, bar industry. And long story short, it's a party for local distributors and bartenders, and they get a whole bunch of top end alcohol, put a lot of people scantily clothed in the DC Convention Center this year. Last year, or usually prior, it's in the Grand Hyatt, but this year it was in the DC Convention Center. And as always, it was the shit show that it usually is.
Yeah, you've been to it before. A bunch. I remember.
Yeah, too many times. But it was a fun time as always. A lot of alcohol.
Now, Kevin, for people who have never heard of it before, what night of the week is it on?
It is on a Sunday night.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, it makes it tricky for a working professional as myself. They tend to have it on a Sunday night because in the restaurant industry, Mondays are usually their day off. They call it industry night. So they figure they are going to have the day off. So Sunday is a good enough excuse to rage on. And man, do they rage.
Well, that's cool though. That's fun.
Lots of top shelf alcohol. DJ, not Talib Kweli, playing a lot of EDM music, maybe 3 rap songs, all with Drake or Fetty Wap involved. So I'm sure DJ Talib Kweli played much better music. But all in all, the girlfriend and I had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool though. That's cool. Were any celebrities there?
Yeah. Your local DC restaurant celebrities were there. So, I mean, if you know any of those people, which I'm sure none of our listeners know, but there were some celebrities there, local ones.
Okay, so nobody like Pharma Bro or anybody like that.
There was no Farmer Bro there at all, but he would have been the biggest star there by far. Biggest douche as well, but the biggest star.
Yeah, he's been in the news a lot this week. First, I'll let you. First, he bought the exclusive Wu-Tang album, and I'll let you go into the details about that.
Yeah, long story short, the RZA was behind the whole thing, and the Wu-Tang Clan put out an album that was a one-of-one album. It wasn't meant to be mass marketed and have multiple people be able to hear it. They made one copy that they sold for $2 million, or they auctioned off for $2 million. And the lucky or the privileged winner was Martin Shkreli, or whatever. How do you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's crazy, though, because I would think that a group like Wu-Tang could make more than $2 million if they just sold it like a regular album. but I guess it's kind of like defeats the purpose.
But you got to know the RZA. He's more of a calculated human being. Nothing he does is by mistake, and I think he was really trying to drive the demand for his group's album, thinking that, hey, if it's one of one, we've got a lot of fans that want to listen to us. We can raise X amount of dollars, and one of our potential fans will have a moment that nobody else in the world can have.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea. I just think money wise, you could have gone a different route, but cool idea. I still like it.
Yeah. So
Don't like who got it. I still like it.
I mean, gotta love capitalism. You knew once the story came up that it was like one person bought it, you knew that chances are that one person was going to be a douchebag.
Yeah, it was either going to be him or Trump. So
absolutely.
Yeah. But he's also in the news again, and this time everyone gets to rejoice because he got arrested for securities fraud from when he was the CEO of his old company, Retrofin. Am I saying that right? Retrofin?
Probably.
Yeah. So yeah, him and a lawyer buddy of his was arrested this morning, actually, Thursday morning, December 17th. And it was great. I mean, they had a couple websites had like a gallery of his arresting pics, so that we can all take a look at.
What do we think he got arrested in?
Oh,
I would like to think he was wearing.
Saw the picture.
Oh, okay. He's already got pictures out. I like to imagine that he was wearing, since it's around Christmas time, that he had Ralphie's onesie, the bunny onesie on. Because if I had a shit ton of money, that's probably what I would do. I would just wear whatever I want. And as much as Ralphie did not want to wear that onesie, it was pretty dope.
All right. Do you want me to tell you what he actually was wearing?
Oh, he wasn't wearing it? Don't ruin it, dude.
All right, my fault. So he was wearing that.
Tell me.
He was wearing a light gray zip-up hoodie.
Ah.
Yeah. It's great though. I was glad to see him. Like, the dude hiked up drug prices so much just to make a quick dollar, and he got what he got.
Looks like he's always been trying to get a quick dollar.
Yeah. Now, you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see the Scared Straight with Keenan and somebody else. You're like, you tried to prevent people from taking care of the AIDS. Now you're gonna be on that list.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Martin. I guess. I mean, you probably got enough money to post bail.
Yeah, he'll definitely post bail, and he'll have a fierce legal team. But it's just nice to see him have to take time and energy, and
just a beautiful thing to see life come full circle.
Yes, karma's a bitch, and that bitch has AIDS. So,
what a dirty bitch.
Yeah,
dirty bitch. Maybe they sing that Black Eyed Peas song to him in jail.
That would be great. I'd love to see that.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Moving on from our extreme joy of seeing that dude get arrested. We have a big week in the NFL coming up. Big week.
Pivotal week.
Yeah, very pivotal week. The Giants are fighting for their playoff lives against the best team in the league in the Carolina Panthers.
Cam.
And I like the Panthers. And I really hate Mercury Morris. So this is a little tough for me, but I want the Giants to win. And I'm feeling a little overly confident because the Giants have in the past ended undefeated streaks. And I don't mean just the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl 8 years ago. I also mean years before that when the Broncos were on their second Super Bowl run, the year Elway retired. They were I think 11-0 or 12-0, and the Giants beat them for their only loss of the year.
Nice. So there's some history on your side.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Now,
this should be a good game.
Do you feel like you guys match up well with the undefeated Carolina Panthers?
No, we don't, because it will be mainly, I think our offense will be able to move against their defense. Obviously not as well, as we could have against most teams. But it's really their offense that scares me, because we got to shut down the run game. That's the thing. And Ted Ginn, you just got to hope he becomes the old Ted Ginn and just drops everything.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get open. I mean, Rogers Cromartie is fast, but he's not always going to be covering Ted Ginn. So Ted Ginn's going to get open. And you just got to hope that you can contain the run game and contain Cam, which is not an easy task.
It's not. Cam's playing at an MVP level, as we said on PandaWatch, the podcast. Yeah. But I think I did read that the Panthers are going to hold out Jonathan Stewart because he's got a foot sprain. So that should go in the plus for the Giants.
Oh, that's good news, yeah.
Because him being out is one less effective runner. It's going to be interesting, too, because all year we've been hearing about shutdown corner Josh Norman. Now he gets to see the superstar that is O.D. Bizzle. So that's another matchup that will be a telling stat line. If you guys can get him going, you've got a better chance than you did.
Right. Absolutely. And this will be another chance for Ruben Randall to step up too. Dwayne Harris has been playing better than average better than expected. I shouldn't say that. Better than expected. And he's fast as hell. So if we can get those guys going, then Odell will have more, if they want to leave Josh Norman on an island with Odell, I'm fine with that, because I think Odell can beat him if they're just on an island. If he's getting the safety help, a good amount, then it'll be obviously tougher. But on an island, I'll take Odell.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, I like to see matchups like this, because Josh Norman came out of nowhere. At least to me, it feels like he
did relatively out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy, who's a big Panthers fan. I was watching the games with him on Sunday, and I was telling him, I was like, the most I knew about Josh Norman before the season started was he was the dude in training camp that got into a fight with Cam Newton.
There you go.
So that was the most we'd heard of him before the season started.
And we've seen this rise of the dominant shutdown corner always end up on one of, they're always attached to a dominant defense.
Of course.
I mean, you've seen it with Cromartie when he was with the Jets, Revis when he was with the Jets, Cromartie as well when they were operating at high levels, Ty Law when he was with the Patriots.
Right, Richard Sherman with the Seahawks.
Richard Sherman with the Seahawks. Those guys get highlighted. Not to say that they haven't done well. It's just that we tend to, I guess we're part of the media now, Steven.
Yeah, we are.
We are the media. We tend to elevate these guys because their defense as a whole is playing well. So it'll be interesting to see Josh Norman against ODB, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
What you also need to remember too is, before we move on, I know people are probably sick of the Giants Panthers talk, but many of those defenses also had great pass rushes, so the corners didn't have to stick with their guy that as long as maybe somebody else would. But
indeed,
we'll move on. I mean, who do the Colts have this Sunday?
Oh man, the Colts, the 6 and 7 Colts, first place by the way, are playing for essentially to lock up the AFC South. They are playing the Houston Texans, who they're tied for first with right now. The Texans this game is going to be ugly. If it was a 4:00 game, it probably would have been flexed to 1:00, even with the playoff implications that are in play. Both teams have injuries at quarterback. Matt Hasselbeck is scheduled to play, but he's banged up. If not, we have clipboard Jesus waiting in the wings. Charlie Whitehurst. Gotta love Charlie Whitehurst. Johnny on the spot all the time. Versus it's looking like Brian Hoyer is out, and the Texans are going with
Is it Yates?
Yeah, my man TJ Yates, who led them to their first playoff victory against the Bengals a couple years ago.
Yeah,
so he's got a couple experience. He's got some experience, but yeah, to say that this is going to be a marquee matchup would be a lie, and I can't do that. But with all that said, I think the Colts like to play for their coach. They're just coming off really bad weekend where they let the Jacksonville Jaguars score 51 points on them.
Yeah, that was bad. So
offensively, defensively, and special teams, they just got their ass kicked in all three phases.
Last week, without even really putting up a fight, I conceded that the NFC East was worse than the AFC South. But this week, I'm flipping it. The AFC South is much worse than the NFC East.
Well, give me your reasoning for why the AFC South is worse than the NFC East.
Okay, we have in the NFC East, we have 3 teams at 6-7, and 1 team at 4-9. Then you guys have just 2 teams at 6-7. The Jaguars at 5-8, and then the Titans at what? 3-10.
Yeah.
So the records are better. And the point differential, all of you guys are way in the negatives on your point differential. The Giants actually have a plus 18 or a plus, they have a positive number in point differential, while the Redskins and the Eagles are in the negative 20s as opposed to the negatives. I think it's the Colts were like negative 75 or something like that. So not just the standings, but in the point differential as well.
Well, I mean,
that's my argument.
That's your argument, which is fair. I would just put one caveat is the Colts are playing with a backup quarterback, and luck would probably account for this assumption a little bit more than 26 points that they've scored over the last 2 games. With that said, there's 3 teams in the pursuit for the playoff in each division.
Right. They're both bad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They're both really bad. I'm just, trying to stick up for my boys.
Yeah, well, long story short, let's hope the Colts win, and let's hope the Giants win.
Hey, do you think the Colts or the Giants have any like fake Twitter accounts out there like our boys in DC do?
No, I don't think so. What are you talking about, though?
Yeah, give a little background. The Redskins have had this grassroots organization, they call it, but everyone knows it's been run by a PR firm. It's called Redskins Facts, something like that. They're on Twitter with the handle Redskins Facts, and they're claimed to be a bunch of fans and a bunch of Native Americans who support the Redskins name. Now,
so Redskins Facts, are they about the actual football organization or about the Native Americans?
The football organization keeping the name.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So the facts are about football team, or they're about Native Americans?
I think they're about both.
Okay.
They're about both. Only positive Native American stories that want to keep the name.
Yeah.
So, when it came out on Sunday, it was a tight game they had, with the Bears. No, who did they play Sunday?
They played the Bears.
They played the Bears. Okay, I was right. They had a tight game, and it turns out that the Redskins Facts Twitter handle tweeted out the exact same update as the Redskins official Twitter handle. So when people noticed the similarities, Dan Steinberg tweeted about it, and they were like, "Oh shit." Yeah, so they try to pass it off by saying, "Oh yeah, one of our guys does have access to both accounts, but we never post on any social media, blah 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 blah. That's not Redskins. We just let the fans or like the fan chapter handle that." Except that they did do it. So,
So
I
is it
mean,
supposed to be like people who are following the Twitter account in support of the Redskins name, just putting in the fact saying, I'm a proud Native American and the Redskins do XYZ
yeah.
for my community?
It's supposed to be someone who
Here's
has
the
no
fact.
affiliation with the team. So the fact that they have someone with affiliation to the team running like with admin rights to that account is kind of sketchy.
Kind of sketchy is a understatement.
Right.
But what do you expect from a team that is clearly fighting to keep their trademark? I
I
mean,
thought you said fucked, and that would have been work too.
yeah.
Yeah, they're digging in and they're trying everything, and nothing is working except the fact that they don't have to change it. That's what's so funny. It's like nothing is working except they don't have to change it.
But they
They lost the
enjoy,
trademark, yes,
yeah,
but I don't think they're getting that back. But
yeah. I just think it's always interesting that they try to come off looking better than they are when they could just do nothing and still
right.
look better than what they're doing.
You're absolutely right. They could just shut their mouths and just say, "Yep, we're keeping the name," and it
Yeah.
would be so much better than what they're trying to do. But hey, Dan Snyder is a stubborn dude, and when you got billions, people don't say no to you. So
Um, is there a chance that Dan Snyder and Martin Shkreli are like best of friends?
oh yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. He's
Nice.
probably the third dude in line to get the Wu-Tang album. I know we said Martin and Trump, and it's probably Snyder is number 3.
I
So
would,
yeah.
I could see that. And then the fourth one would be Darth Vader. Darth Vader.
Dark Vader, who's that?
Darth Vader. You don't know who Darth Vader is? He is the black antagonist in Star Wars.
Is that Michael Jai White's Star Wars or just
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man. Last thing with the NFL before we move on. They are trying to fix the catch rule. So good for them. They got a 6-person committee to tell you what a catch is.
That
And
is awesome.
I think it's fun. I think it's
Do you
funny.
have any names? Who's
I think
involved?
James Thrash was like one of the players on, or like former players on there. I can't remember the names. It was just it's so hysterical that they need 6 people to figure it out. When
Des Bryant came out and said, I need to be on that committee. And I think without knowing how the CBA works, I think it would help or benefit the NFL to have some input from players.
I think they should too. I think you should get during the offseason, get at least 4 active receivers and get their input. I mean, they don't
Yeah,
need to be the final decision makers, but you should at least
absolutely.
get their input.
Yeah, I think there's funnier nothing funnier than people in suits telling the actual players on the field what a catch is when they probably cannot perform what they're asking to see so they can warrant a catch and a non-catch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's ridiculous. But that's what's so great about the NFL. And hopefully they get it fixed because the Giants got screwed by it this year with Beckham and the Patriots. And a lot of teams have been screwed by it. It's the Calvin Johnson rule. Dez got screwed with it last year in the playoffs. It happens. So it's just funny that something that you and I playing like a touch football game can figure out what a catch is easier than these guys.
Absolutely. Here's a secret. Don't drop the ball.
Yeah. 2 steps, don't drop it, and there you go.
Catch.
But if you drop it after you
Welcome,
take the 2
NFL.
steps, yeah.
PandaWatch will take a check made out to the PandaWatch podcast, and then we'll figure out how to split it. Obviously, I'll get more reparations.
Okay. Reparation?
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you get more money than I get?
Because apparently now in Texas, you can call affirmative action and get it because you're white. So,
I mean, it was eventually going to balance itself out.
but hey, yeah, you can take it. I'll take 4%.
Hey,
If you want 51.
You are breaking up over there. Sorry, PandaWatch people. Steven
sorry, man.
went right into robot.
Yeah, I was saying I'll take 49% of whatever the NFL gives you.
No,
I agree.
absolutely. That works.
All right. Um, moving on from the NFL to the NBA. Uh, sad. A little sad that the Warriors lost. Lost
Hmm.
to a mediocre, below mediocre Bucks team. But I mean, they were going to lose eventually.
Yeah, I mean, 6-1 on a 7-game road trip is still nothing to sniff at.
Oh, it's still
Um,
great. And didn't they beat down the Suns after that?
yeah, they just after losing that game against the Buccaneers or the Buccaneers, the Milwaukee Bucks. This is basketball, Kevin. Wake the hell up. They came out and proved to the world that they are still the juggernaut that they've been all year. Now, back to the Milwaukee Bucks game. The Bucks did have, even though they haven't been performing, nobody's been performing to the level of the Warriors. They had the capable components to push the Warriors to the limit, whether it was the beginning of their road trip or the game was at home. Because Jason Kidd's got a stable full of guards. He's got Michael Carter Williams. He's got OJ Mayo. He's got Greg Monroe, who can match up with where the Warriors have their real mismatch, and Draymond Green. There's more moving parts over there that make the Buccaneers a talented enough team to play them.
The Buccaneers.
The Bucks, gosh damn it! I've got the Buccaneers. I'm going against the Buccaneers in my fantasy football team league playoffs, and I'm just hoping that they don't score any points. So that's where the confusion's coming. Sorry, fans.
That's okay.
But yeah,
That's okay.
the Warriors, they are the real deal. They came back and punished the Suns, another team that can match up with them on paper because their guards can match up with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, except for they let Klay Thompson score 27 points in one quarter.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. You ain't going to beat anybody scoring 27, letting one guard go off for 27.
Yeah.
They can get hot, man. They can get really hot.
Well, good for them that they're back on track. I kind of want them. I'm not sure if I want them to beat the Bulls record, but I want them to make a run for it. I want it to be interesting. It'd be cool.
It would definitely bring a spotlight to the NBA. I mean, there's no negative news around it, and it'd be a really cool story to follow.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there is one small negative news story, but it doesn't have to do with the NBA as a whole. Just one of their players.
Yeah, it just has to do with knucklehead Rajon Rondo in the news again.
From?
University of Kentucky.
All right, there we go.
I mean, he's not a reflection of the University of Kentucky, even though we do still claim him. Because he is a great basketball player. He's an idiot, but he's a great basketball player.
For those of you unaware, Rondo, it was a December 3rd game, I think, so it was a while ago.
Yep.
He was playing a game reffed by Bill Kennedy and used a homophobic slur that started with the letter F. So I think you guys can figure that out.
Fun boy.
Yes. That just reminds me of some like German player Mike Myers would play on SNL. But anyways, he used that slur, and later on we learned that Bill Kennedy actually came out as gay, the first, I think, active referee to do so.
Yeah.
But besides that, apparently it's been widely known in the NBA community that he was gay. So him coming out to the public is, while news to us, not news to many people involved in the NBA. So many were pretty sure that Rondo knew he was gay and went ahead and used that phrase that we all kind of
yeah. That's kind of, I mean, that's not even kind of, that's really Bush League by Rondo. Because that's news to me that they knew that my man was homosexual. Because Rondo, you're playing basketball. You're in the heat of the moment, and I guess you probably got called for a flagrant 2, or you had a call go against you. But there's no place for that. I mean, like calling him a name, whether you use that word or you call him a racial slur or you call him anything like that, that's not going to change the way he referees the game. The guy referees the game from
Right.
what we know with integrity and stuff like that. So the least you can do is kind of offer that kind of respect back. But we are talking about Rajon Rondo, who shuts down seasons, plays when he wants to play, that kind of person. That's who you're dealing with.
Right. Yeah. And so just to give background, you mentioned you weren't sure what he did. He got a tech first. And I'll be honest, I can't remember what the first thing that got him a tech. But after he was given the tech, he followed around Bill Kennedy and was in his ear the entire time. And apparently at one point, Bill Kennedy was trying to get away so he wouldn't have to give him a second tech and kick him out of the game. But Rondo kept going after him. His teammates tried to stop him and didn't help. Bill Kennedy gave him the second tech because he's probably like, all right, shit, I've had enough. And then that's when the expletive flew. But hey.
And then in what we like to call the court of public opinion, Rondo gets to come out and give his bullshit excuse apology and lessen the blow of his suspension. And if I know Rondo like I know Rondo, this will not be the last time he uses the slur. And I hope it's the last time he uses it towards that referee, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're here on PandaWatch publicly denouncing Rajon Rondo, even though I love him as a basketball player. There's no place for that, man. Just play basketball, dude. Yeah, you're upset. You got technical. You ain't got to call the man out his name. Now, if he turned around and called you a nigga, what the fuck you going to do?
Right, exactly. What if he said it back? Then, you'd be screaming to, get him punished.
So, hey, man, golden rule, baby. Golden rule.
All right. Moving from the big show to the little show, small show,
to the guys who play basketball hard all year long, as opposed to the last 22 of their 82 game tilt. NCAA basketball. Basketball.
We don't have much to report on the NCAA. No big games are going on right now with finals. Things are dying down. You'll get a lot of conference play starting in January, which will be fun.
Absolutely. That's when college basketball takes the front seat as opposed to a back seat to the bowl season.
Right. Exactly.
But the biggest story in college basketball, and probably one of the biggest stories in just sports in general, is this new phenomenon highlighted by your Monmouth. Are they the Hawks?
Yeah, they could be. Why not?
They could be. Let's make sure. The Monmouth Hawks first off, their basketball team is playing very well. But
that's not big upset in Notre Dame.
That's not why they're in the news. They're in the news because they've got 4 bench players who are taking the world by storm with their reactions. And it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny. It's funny to see him come up with like some of their stunts. So what they do after a big play is the 4 of them will act out some popular like image, or it doesn't always have to be like it could be a still. It doesn't always have to be like something that involves like choreography. It could just be like them holding a pose or them doing a crazy like handshake or celebration. Off the top of my head, one of the ones they did was the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
They did that one. And they do other fun stuff. It's kind of fun to look at. I mean, it probably will get old after a while, but I mean, why not let them have fun while they can?
I'm going to play the role of Clint Eastwood and say, get the fuck off my lawn right now, Monmouth. Because it is ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. You guys are, they are the Monmouth Hawks, by the way. I'm seeing they are being highlighted in sports shows. I mean, it's only a matter of time before Good Morning America picks them up. I am all for having fun. My question is, what happens when I have to put you in the game? What's going to happen then?
Right.
You guys are on the team to be a part of the team. Yes, they are giving their players a lot of positive energy and support, and they're having a good time in a situation. But now that they have got the fame and all that stuff, it's almost as if the performance goes, the attention goes from the play on the court to just watching the four kids on the bench.
No, no,
And
I
I
completely agree.
and I think that's. I mean, I don't know how I would feel if I was on that team. Like, obviously, I'm on the team. I'd probably be good boys with the players on the bench. I mean, I was a bench player when I was in high school, and like my teammates were like, "Oh man, we want y'all to play." We had our team name. We were the four guys. We were called the Bomb Squad, but that was it, right? We didn't have
Right.
any dances. Not that they were popular or anything at the time, but we also knew that we were capable of playing. We also did not enjoy sitting on the bench. It was not fun. There was nothing fun about watching everybody else play basketball. If I wanted to just watch and play basketball, I wouldn't have tried out for the team.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've been on the bench plenty of times in my life. I didn't like wasn't. I mean, it was sometimes it was fun, but most of the time I just wanted to be out there.
So for me, as much attention as they're getting, I just think I don't know when like okay. So now let's say Monmouth they go cold, and now we're not showing their bench anymore, and now we pick another college team, and their bench starts going off. Like when does it become old and tired and exploitive as opposed to that was spontaneous and fun?
It becomes tired after for the next team. It's tired out. It's already getting tired. I mean, I know I'd be more fun to argue with you, but I kind of agree with you. I don't really care about what they do on the bench.
Yeah, like I'm not going to a basketball game to be like, I just paid my money to watch these guys put on a performance.
Yeah. Oh well, I
But
think
with all
yeah.
that said, what's your favorite? You said your favorite was the Sistine Chapel.
That's really the only one I remember off the top of my head. So I guess that's my favorite.
Um, they've done they've done like a rowboat. It's pretty slick.
Oh right. Okay.
They've done that. What else have they done? They've done some other things. But yeah, let's hope these guys never get into the basketball game because then they won't know what to do.
Yeah, they'll try to like grab the ball and act out a scene from Austin Powers or something.
But do your thing, Mama's Mouth, Hawks. Besides that, in college basketball, Steven said there's no upsets, but there's some good games this weekend.
Oh,
Your
there's some good
your
games going on.
the co-host is going to watch some games this weekend. He's going to watch one of the best teams in the country.
That's right, North Carolina Tar Heels.
No, we were talking about the University of Kentucky.
Oh, it's a shame they're not playing each other. So the college basketball, it's classic on CBS. I can't remember the name of it. Um, it'll be at the Barclays Center, and it's a doubleheader. First game will be UNC versus UCLA, so that'll be fun. And the second game will be Kentucky versus Ohio State.
Yeah,
So
the
two
second
very
game.
good games. Yeah.
Well, the second game is probably unless Kentucky plays to the level. Kentucky probably runs away with that game by 15 to 18. But UCLA is coming in hot, and you got North Carolina is stumbling a little bit, even though they picked up a couple wins on some low hanging fruit. They are still a very talented team that goes 8, 9, 10 deep. So it should be interesting to see what UCLA has for them. UCLA on a home court is really good. UCLA on a neutral court, not so much. So it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see what happens.
It'll be a fun time regardless. Um, moving on from NCAA basketball, we have a quick fun story about NCAA football. Now, obviously, this weekend Derrick Henry won the Heisman. We're all happy for him.
Are we happy? I mean, I saw a little. I'm not on Twitter, but I saw a lot of why didn't is it Ian McCaffrey?
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey, the first good Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Why didn't he win the Heisman?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he was, I mean, he had a great year, and he certainly he's a front runner already for next year. But Derrick Henry kind of broke Herschel Walker's record, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people. Game over.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Christian, obviously, him and Taj Watson from Clemson, they all had, good claims to the Heisman. So did Leonard Fournette. I mean, he didn't have a great game every game, but you can give it to anybody. But I think people are just upset because they want to see a white guy win it instead of just the big bruising black guy. But hey, what do I know?
I mean, the white guys have won it when the quarterbacks win it. I mean, your quarterback is always winning.
Right.
If there's not a running back going bonkers. So, I mean, Christian, you definitely had a good year. And what do you say to the people who were saying that the reason that Derrick Henry won it was not because he was black, was because he played in the mighty, mighty SEC, and there's a whole bunch of SEC bias out there.
Right. A lot of people do hate the SEC, so that could be it.
But that's it. You don't have a rebuttal?
I mean, whatever. Haters going to hate, Steve Spivak the other day, when we were watching the game, he was, hating on the SEC.
Fair.
So people do it. It's fine. I'm used to it.
All right. So yeah, your story goes.
All right, yeah. So the most interesting news was coming from an old Miss player, Robert Condice. I said that right, didn't I?
You did.
Okay, Robert Condice.
Former number one recruit in the country.
Former number one recruit in the country, most likely a top 5 pick in the NFL. Fell out of his hotel window. He didn't fall straight down, though. See, that would have been really worrisome if he did. No. What happened was he fell out of the window, kept walking outside, and then fell another 15 feet. He got away, thankfully, with some minor scrapes and bruises. But I have to ask, when you fall out of your window and you land okay and unharmed, how is your first reaction not to either stay still or just go back inside?
Without being the guy, 15 feet is probably a big enough fall that maybe his body was in some kind of shock or extreme trauma.
No. He didn't fall 15 feet right away. He fell 15 feet after getting up and continuing to walk outside.
But he had fell, though. Where'd he? Right? He fell twice.
But he fell twice. So the first fall was not 15 feet. It was like a few feet. So right. Yes, that is shocking. Yes, I will give him that.
So his body may or may not be in trauma. But you left out one pertinent detail.
Oh no, I wanted to get to that detail after.
Okay,
but yes.
Well, you might want to put that in there because that might coerce explains it all.
Yes. So what I left out, because what I was hoping people would think, police, when the police responded, or when emergency services responded, they found, and this is a quote, this isn't me saying, sounding really old and white, 12 marijuana cigarettes in the hotel room.
So, yeah, I mean, but that is the real old white man way to say it. Marijuana
it is,
cigarettes.
That's how it's reported.
Nice. Where is he in Ole Miss? I mean, is he in Mississippi when this happens?
You know what? To be honest, I don't remember. Let me. I'll look at it while we're talking. But Atlanta.
He was in Atlanta. So he wasn't even on like what any doctor would call marijuana. He was on this new local street craze that is getting out of control. Synthetic marijuana. So either they don't have any marijuana there, or they've got it so restricted and locked up that the kids and adults are saying, well, I got to get high some way. So let's just make some fake marijuana. Let's make some fake weed. That sounds like a good idea.
Right. And his statement was claiming that he was not on any drugs. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he just like was in legit shock after falling out of a window sober and decided to walk around outside some more.
The police report said he was on. They tested him for marijuana or for drugs. He was under the influence of some kind of substance.
Right. I didn't see that part.
Chocolate chips don't do that to people.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I said I did not. His statement says I did not use synthetic drugs. So that's him saying it.
That.
Yeah, his statement said that. But I mean, we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm sure eventually.
Well, here we go. He issues an apology for a lapse in judgment.
Yeah.
I made a mistake and I put myself in an environment that doesn't reflect who I am. The investigators discovered 7 rolled marijuana cigarettes in a cigarette blunt papers and reported the room was in complete disarray. He was
right. He could have been. Sorry.
Can you hear that?
What?
You couldn't hear that on my end. Yeah. The man was on synthetic marijuana. It's obviously he was embarrassed, so he tried to lie his way out of it. He's a young kid, probably thought he was in more harm and trouble than he was, so he panicked and he lied.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't judge him either way. I just think
this is where I'm at with it. As Lawrence Taylor said in The Waterboy, this leads me to my next point. Don't smoke crack. Don't do drugs, man. And if you're going to do drugs, do real drugs. Synthetic drugs are not the way for you. Clearly, if they can get a 6'5", 300-pound guy to fall down and not even feel it, that ain't the drug I want. That sounds like it's numbing the hell out of some shit.
I agree. I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah, so take that, PandaWatch fans. No fake drugs.
All right.
You can gamble on that one if you want.
Oh yeah. Speaking of gambling, this Pete Rose yet again denied reinstatement into baseball by Commissioner Manfred. Now I should clear up that his ban from baseball does not preclude him from getting elected to the Hall of Fame. His ban from baseball just keeps him from doing anything in the MLB, like managing, coaching, any front office positions. I mean, he can still get elected to the Hall, but he's not getting back into the baseball anytime soon.
So the voters, the Hall of Fame voters who make the vote, why? I mean, is there any reason that they would not keep him in there? I mean, his numbers say Hall of Fame. His actions, I guess, in baseball say he's dirty.
Right. Well,
if he's good enough to be in the Hall of Fame, put him in the Hall of Fame.
And therein lies the argument you have with Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and some of these other guys, is regardless if Bonds or Clemens took performance-enhancing drugs, they were still the best players of their generation. It's just these
purists,
and yeah, they hold these grudges or judgments against these players, and they're not going to let him in. So a lot of these writers are like, well, he's banned from baseball. That means we can't let him into the Hall of Fame. So they take that route, or it's an easy scapegoat. Like, oh, we can't vote for Pete because he's banned from baseball. Well, actually, you could. You just choose not to.
You choose not to. Yeah. I don't like that. I feel like this story comes up once every 3 or 4 years.
I
feel like they are. Yeah, I feel like they're just using Pete Rose for what who knows? But New York City.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
You're just using the man's name. If you're gonna drag him through the mud, at least give him his just due, where he can be in the Hall of Fame, and then he'd probably leave you guys alone. He probably doesn't even want to be a part of baseball.
He doesn't. I guarantee he doesn't. He just wants to be in the Hall of Fame.
He just wants to be recognized for his talent, which I think is fair, right? Just like you said,
it's fair.
If the judgment says that you can still get into the Hall of Fame if you get the votes, I think everybody who's objectively looking at it says he is a Hall of Famer.
No, exactly. You take his player profile, he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Yeah, it just sucks for my man Petey, man. I think he's, even though I was going to say he's learned his lesson, but they came out and said they always dig up something new. They're like, well, he gambled on this and all that stuff. And I guess I get it. It's illegal to gamble while you're playing the sport. But he's not been playing anymore, right? He can gamble on the sport.
Yeah, he can still gamble on the sport, but what they're saying, Pete, if you want to come back in, you got to stop gambling on the sport. And he chooses to ignore that.
Yeah. Just like if anybody told one of those, like for instance, the MLB commissioner, you have to stop doing something that you do all the time, that you may or may not have control over. Like gambling, an addiction is real. So let's just say there's an assumption that Pete Rose has a gambling addiction. Let's say the MLB commissioner has an addiction, and we say, stop doing what you're doing. That's not how addiction works.
No, I agree. But if he has that addiction, he shouldn't be the MLB commissioner.
But I should still be able to be recognized as a great player. I just have an addiction.
Right. And that's the argument that many, many, many people make. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, and like we said before, he doesn't need to be in baseball to be elected to the Hall of Fame. But voters, the Veterans Committee, choose to use that to not let him in.
Well, I guess we know what has to happen. All the old fucks have to die before Pete Rose gets in there. So Pete Rose will probably get into the Hall of Fame post-mortem, and it'll be all for naught. And his kids, if he has kids, I think he has kids, if I was their kid, I wouldn't even show up for the induction.
No, I wouldn't either.
Be like, kiss my ass. My dad's not even here anymore.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Pete, we're rooting for you, man.
I'm indifferent. You're rooting for him.
Wait a minute. You don't want Pete Rose in there?
I could care less if he's in there or not. I mean, because here's my thing. If the Hall of Fame is not going to put Barry Bonds in there, then it really doesn't matter to me who they put in there.
Ah, that is true.
So they can put in whoever. I mean, they put in Frank Thomas, and I was overjoyed because Frank Thomas is my favorite player of all time. But Barry Bonds is arguably the best hitter of all time. I mean, yeah, you can pull up Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Ty Cobb, those guys. But, Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb played with only half the population allowed to play baseball. So
that's very true.
To me, the hall's a joke because some of the guys who used to get in had the shittiest numbers ever. But now these guys who have like over 500 home runs and hitting like 280, 290 aren't allowed in. So, I mean, hell, it took Biggio too long to get in there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we can't put Craig in first ballot. What is going on?
And if you can't give Ricky Henderson 100%, if he can't get 100% of the votes, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
So that's why the hall's a joke. Like Cal Ripken got like 91%. That dude should be getting like 99.9%.
We'll see what happens with Ken Griffey is up this year.
Oh yeah, he should be a first ballot, no doubt.
Yeah, and if he doesn't get like you said 99 or 100% of the vote, you're just like, well, what else does he need? Who is not voting for him?
Yeah, I'm gonna predict he'll get 87% of the vote. You need 75. You need 75 to get in. He'll get 87 or something like that. It'll be stupid. He should be getting 97, 98, but he'll get like 87.
And from what we know, Ken Griffey Jr. doesn't have any like salacious drug use or steroid use, or he didn't
Right.
beat his wife, he didn't cheat on his wife, or something that no moral ground where the voter would be like, well, let me pass judgment on him
Right. It's
because
the same as
I'm,
Frank Thomas.
yeah.
Yeah. He should be. Yeah. It shouldn't even be close, but it will be. It won't be close, but it will be closer than it should be. And
Oh,
that's just because the Hall is a bunch of old cranky guys being like, well, if these guys had to wait one bout, then they should too.
yeah.
So whatever. We need to move on because the talking about the Hall of Fame makes me angry.
It makes you angry. I can hear
Yeah.
it. It makes you angry. Remember, anger, or what's the quote? Fear is something to the dark side.
Yeah, anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Suffering
Yeah.
leads to dark side. Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah. Panda
Yeah.
Watch. I know we got some Star Wars listeners out there. Are you guys ready? I mean,
I'm psyched, dude. I'm
2
psyched.
hours away from the national release.
Right. I mean, people are already seeing the movie now. That's what's so crazy about
The
it.
movie's already out.
Yeah, yeah, there was like 7 o'clock showings. I know one of my coworkers was like, "I'm gonna go stand in." He's like, "I already got tickets, but I still got to stand in line for 2 hours to get into the
What?
7 o'clock showing." Yeah, I know. It's nuts.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's New York City for you though, man. I saw Interstellar the night before it came out. So, what up?
What up? All right. I mean, like, give me. I mean, I am not a Star Wars buff. I've probably seen one of them by accident.
So,
Give
there's
me what's going on.
So there's a lot of excitement for the Star Wars movie for many reasons. It's the first new Star Wars movie to come out in 10 years since the Revenge of the Sith, the last of the prequels.
Which was
Now,
dope.
the prequels got a lot of hate, and because they weren't as good as the originals, which it's really hard to be as good as the originals were. And they got a lot of hate. They didn't think they were done right. Whatever. I mean, they didn't like some of the actors. I get that. They were still, to me, entertaining movies. So a lot of people are saying, well, it's even been longer since a real Star Wars movie came out, meaning 1983 when Return of the Jedi came out. So they're saying
what
it's
is a
been
real
42 years.
what is a
What's
real
that?
Star Wars movie? Like sequence wise?
The real order is Phantom Menace as the first one. That came out in 99. That was the first of the prequels. Then Attack of the Clones, which I think we actually saw together in high school senior year
I believe so.
because Natalie Portman was wearing that like see-through white sweater
Yeah.
during one of them scenes.
Yep.
Then that was the second one. Then what would be third in the order came out in 2005, Revenge of the Sith. Now, what would be fourth was Star Wars: A New Hope. This was the first Star Wars movie that came out, though. This, the original one ever. That came out in 77, I believe.
Damn, we weren't even here yet.
Right. 1980 or 81 was Empire Strikes Back, which many people consider to be the best of the 6 that have been released. For many reasons. One, people think it was the best storyline, the best acting, the most conflicting, because at the end, the Empire comes out on top in that movie.
I love movies like that.
Right. And Empire was just a better story. It had the big cliffhanger of Luke, I am your father. You have to remember that when people saw this movie in 1980, 1981, they had no idea that Vader was Luke's father. Me growing up watching Star Wars, I had seen that scene so many times that I kind of forget the impact it had on me when I first heard it,
Yes.
And then the sixth one, or the one where they leave off before this new one, is Return of the Jedi, and that came out in 83. That's when Luke vanquished the Emperor. They blew up the second Death Star, and they, deal a huge crippling blow to the Empire. Now, it's kind of left vague as to what happens after that. There were a bunch of books that came out. I didn't really read many of them because to me it was always about the visuals with Star Wars. And so this picks up about it's supposed to take place 30 years after the events in Return of the Jedi, which makes sense because that movie came out 32 years ago.
Nice.
And people are excited because for sure Harrison Ford and Chewbacca are in it. It's Han Solo and Chewbacca. Princess Leia is still in it, Carrie Fisher. Absent from any of the trailers or commercial spots is Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker.
Luke.
And there's a lot of speculation as to what his role in the new movie is. I mean, nobody really knows, and I kind of don't want to know until I see it. So I'm gonna try to stay away from any Star Wars related article in the next few days. I'm hoping to see it Christmas Eve when I go on the ZBRAC traditional Christmas Eve movie run.
All right.
So hopefully I'll see it in a week's time, but we'll see. I'm excited. I'm very excited for it.
Let me know how it is, because I probably ain't gonna see it.
A lot of outrage at first over a black stormtrooper,
Yes.
or the character's name is Finn. So I mean, I'm looking forward.
There's no black people in space.
I know, right? Except in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I know. I'm.
This is the one safe place we have. Why did they get here too?
Right. Exactly. White people can't stand losing something that was just theirs. Even though they kind of forget about Lando Calrissian. Ah, but he was only half black.
Lando Calrissian. Love him.
Yeah. No word on whether he's in the movie or not.
Is Billy D. Williams still alive?
I think so.
That would be so dope if Lando is in the movie.
He was on an episode of Modern Family a few years ago, so I'm assuming he's still alive.
Gosh, I bet Lando is in there, and they do some cross marketing with the Bull, Slit Malt Liquor.
That would be great.
That'd be awesome. All right.
Anyway,
sounds like it's a PandaWatch movie to watch.
Yeah, that's the movie to watch.
That's the
Star
Globes
Wars
movie to watch. So
The Force Awakens. What's up?
No, I was gonna say. I mean, it's PandaWatch. It's the Globes movie to watch, so it's probably the world's. I mean, PandaWatch's movie to watch as well.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
All right, Kev. What music should we be listening to?
All right, I got a banger for us. Comes to us by none other than Chance the Rapper.
Oh,
featuring
SNL. Yeah,
featuring Jeremiah and the mercurial one, Robert R. Kelly. The song is called "Somewhere in Paradise." It's a very uplifting song, as Chance is not your typical rapper rapping about, guns, drugs, hoes, and all that stuff. Chance uses his platform to uplift, which I think is pretty awesome, and he does a good job about it. So, "Somewhere in Paradise," Chance the Rapper featuring Jeremiah and R. Kelly. Get on it, people. It's a good listen.
All
and
right.
a subplot tonight at midnight. Not only can you go see Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Is that it, Steven? Got it right. You also get to hear Pusha T drop his prelude to his new album, "Darkest Before the Dawn." And I pre-ordered it, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome.
So wait, how would I get that if I wanted to hear it? Because I like Pusha.
Pusha T, I think he's got it available on Spotify. I pre-ordered it on iTunes, but anything you can stream, you can probably find it.
All right.
And I don't know if there's going to be any physical copies. I would love a physical copy. People still make fun of me because I buy CDs, but go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, I think it's cool how you still get CDs. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny. Kiss my ass.
In a good way, man. Don't be so defensive. Relax.
But relax. Yeah. But yeah, go check it out. Good music all around.
All right, I'm gonna throw in one. I know you're kind of just like, whoa, Steven's got the music. This one is a very, very biased music choice, but Wale's new single called MVP (parentheses Bryce Harper). It is lyrically like really challenging for me to get into it because some of the lyrics just don't make any damn sense, but I like it, even though he's insulting baseball during the song. I don't know if you actually heard.
Give us an example. I heard it, but I don't remember him like insulting baseball though.
He goes, "We know this season's long as shit." Like, like a compliment. Like, oh shit. Like, oh damn, Wale. Sorry, man. And then in another part of the song, he's like, "Papelbon's still my teammate." And I'm like, just don't even mention him. Come on, Wale.
Yeah,
Why are you
man.
gonna mention PandaWatch?
Keep it upbeat. But
Yeah.
you know, Wale, to his credit, is one of those rappers. He gives you layers to his raps. So he's going above and beyond. He does his research, and he's got different avenues to present his raps. Even though this one, to me, is, you know, it's interesting. So I like that you put that out there. Bryce Harper is the name of the song, or MVP is the name of the song.
MVP is the name of it, and then parentheses Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. It's catchy.
Will you buy it on iTunes?
Probably not.
So it's not that catchy.
Yeah, I mean, not catchy enough for me to buy. I'll just wait till it comes on Amazon Prime or something.
Fair.
But anyways, you got anything else from it at home, Kev?
I got nothing. All
right, people. Remember, we got a Facebook page out there, and we're coming with a big coming out party.
We got a surprise up our sleeve for you guys, but just hold on to your butts. Also, I would just like to give a quick shout out to my homie Tony Johnson down there in North Carolina, giving us an unsolicited view and listen to the PandaWatch podcast and the Facebook page.
Yeah, so, and he subscribed to like our YouTube updates too. So thank you very much, Tony.
Yeah, man, that is what I'm talking about. And if you guys would like to be shout out on the podcast, just do what Tony did, man. Be a fan.
Be a fan, or just send us an email at thepandawatchpodcast@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook, the PandaWatch Podcast. We have a Facebook page. So yeah, hit us up. Get mentioned. Get shouted out.
Yeah. You don't want to be left behind, because when this what is this thing called? What is that? The ship called?
Sponsorship?
No, in what's that damn movie? In Star Wars. Star Wars, man.
Oh, the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, when the Millennium Falcon takes off, baby, we ain't coming back for y'all.
Yeah.
It's gonna be too late.
Here's the chance to be an original hipster of the PandaWatch podcast.
Bingo.
Jump on board while we can.
Yeah. You can be the Monmouth bench of it, as opposed to whoever's going to be second to follow Monmouth.
You don't want to be that guy after Christopher Columbus, you know.
Nobody wants to be second.
We'll leave you on that note, people. Please follow us, email us.
Please follow us, please.
I said it once, man. Come on. You got to be nice.
All right, man. Sign off.
All right. Until next time, everyone. Peace, love, and
chancletas.